Hey, hey. Flipping the script from a young misfit was due to be nothing more than a statistic, but I said no, not me. I will not be like the others, the third child from my mother, drinking alcohol from moms through my umbilical, breathing nicotine supreme all in my jeans. Mom smoking and drinking while I'm in the womb. It's clear to me that I'll probably see an early tomb. Probably won't make it past delivery. The devil's trying to put me out my misery, but he was too late. The call already went out a couple months prior when the prophecy was sent out. Mom sitting in the church pew chilling. Preacher called her up to the front, first she was unwilling. Then she got up and walked up slowly. Then he said, listen, I know that you don't know me, but I got a word from you straight from the man above. Just imagine all the things that she was thinking of. Testing 1 2. Grace and peace. What's going on, everybody? How we doing? This is Holds the Whole podcast. I'm your host, Born Leader. Welcome back. I'm glad. Thank y'all for tuning in. If you are tuning in, I appreciate it. Once again, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Once again, everybody tuning in, everybody shouting out the podcast. You know, just some shout outs before I really get started, because I'm just highly appreciative of everything going on right now, really. Like everything that's going on in my life, you know, it's been a journey. It's been a journey, y'all. But a couple shout outs real quick, man. Like shout out the guests that have been on here already. You know what I mean? Not gonna name y'all, but y'all know who y'all are. Shout out y'all. Shout out just like my family and friends just saying how they love it and subscribing to the channel and subscribing to the page and everything. So shout out my family, my little brother Jonathan, big brother Booby, my sister, just fam and friends near and far. I love y'all. Thank y'all so much. Once again, though, but welcome back. This is Holds the Whole podcast, a podcast for the soul. And I go by Born Leader, and I'm so happy. I'm happy and excited about today's show, because later on, not right now, y'all, but in a few, I'm gonna be introducing and bringing on my guests. But today's show is going to be a little bit different, because I wanted to take some time today, really just to talk to y'all for a second. You know, the shows so far have been, of course, where I had guests on sharing their graceful journeys of life. And that's pretty much the essence of the show. That's the idea of the show. As much as I like to inspire people with my story, I like being inspired by people and their stories. So I've been having guests come on and share some things, but it really dawned on me this week, really I would say before this week, but it really dawned on me this week of like how I haven't really like delved into some of my story and some of my background. And so I'm going to just take a couple minutes just to do that. But before I do, let me shout out CMP Radio, Uncle P, what's up? Appreciate the opportunity. Thank you so much for everything. Leslie, thank you. Yes, thank you for everything. Who else? Portia, is that her name? Good. Portia, what's up? I appreciate everything that you have done and will continue to do. So I just wanted to shout out the team real quick for the opportunity. Chester to the world, Chester City, you know what's good. You know who it is. Thank y'all. But so let me take some time just to dive in just a little bit to explain and to expound more on Holds the Whole and kind of like the idea. And let me share some of my story in explaining Holes to Hole. So Holes to Hole is really, well, let me explain it like this. A couple years ago, y'all, about 10 years ago now, it seemed like a few years ago, but 10 years ago, I was 27, and I was at like a place in my life where I was lost. I was really lost, and I was confused, and I felt a void in my soul. I felt empty. And so the thing that I want to just interject for y'all to pay attention to is that I want you to understand holes as being synonymous with empty, void, and being unfulfilled. Okay, so that's pretty much that's the holes. That's the explanation of the holes. So holes are the result of pain and traumatic circumstances, brokenness, and different events throughout one's life that lead to emptiness in the soul. So once again, at 27, I felt void and I felt empty and I felt unfulfilled, and I wasn't sure why. And so it seemed like at this moment in time, at this point in time in my life at 27, I was married and I had a couple kids and I was working at a job, and everything seemed to be okay. But deep down inside, I was desolate. My soul was yearning for more, and I really didn't understand why at the time. So what I did was, I did what I found out later on. I did what a lot of other people, what most people would do in that situation. When you're hungry, when you're empty, when there's a void, you want to figure it out. You want to go fill it. You want to go fill it up. And so what I did was I launched out on this journey, this couple year journey of really just trying to like fill this unfulfillment. So what I did was I circled back to a childhood passion of mine, which was music. And I kind of had resolved in my mind that music was my vehicle, right? Music was going to be my vehicle to fulfillment. That's what I thought. That's what I had resolved. And for me, music represented like my last ditch effort to make life work for myself, to pull myself up by the bootstraps, so to speak, and reach my potential. And long story long, I started doing the music. I started grinding with that. I started like putting out all this music, and I was really working hard, and I was grinding with this thing, y'all. And I really thought that music was going to be the way. Music was my vehicle to fulfillment, right? That's what I thought. It turned out what ended up happening was what I thought was going to be my pathway or my vehicle to fulfillment or to wholeness was it actually led me to further emptiness, right? To further emptiness. So it led me the opposite way. And when it led me the opposite way, I had no idea that it was going to lead me that way. I thought it was going to lead me to wholeness, to fulfillment, to peace, to prosperity. And it ended up leading me to like frustration and anxiety and depression and just hopelessness. So I was in this dark place at a point in time. Now I'm in like my early 30s at this point. And I'm in my early 30s and I'm at this dark place, this hopeless place. Like it felt like I was drowning in like this black hole and I couldn't get out. There was no way out. And so what I did at that point was quite frankly, y'all, I just gave up. I gave up at that point. I gave up and I was like, you know what? These dreams that I had when I was young, this dream of doing this and doing that, my full potential being realized. I said, listen, that must have been a pipe dream or something like that. Like, it's like we all have different like dreams and ideas and feelings of ourselves and who we think we're going to be when we're older. And so, so I really had this dream, y'all, of like, when I was 12, I wrote my first song. When I was 13, I performed in a talent show in middle school to like a rousing ovation. So I'm like, you know what? So just picture, songwriting at 12, performing at 13. You think that's going to lead to something. So I kind of had thought it was going to lead to something, but then I get to adulthood just to actually continue to do that. And then it leads to nothing. So I was done, y'all. I gave up. So what ended up happening was I left the job that I was at during that time. And I was so depressed. I was so depressed at this point. I was so low. I was so empty at this point that I left the job I was at and then kind of just, and then I ended up getting another job. And while I was at this other job, that's when this amazing thing happened. I was at this other job and I was working there for 2 years and I was pretty much content. Now I want you to remember that. I want you to understand that. I was content. And when you content, it doesn't mean that you're satisfied, right? Now, mind you, the ultimate goal was to be fulfilled, not to be content. So, but I was so tired of trying to reach my fulfillment or trying to reach my whole, WHOLE. I'm like, listen, I'm done. I'm done with this. I don't got no more. So that's when I gave up. I'm working at this job and I was content with just like being like a regular kind of, not to say it like a regular average Joe or make fun of that, but I was content to just like work this job, take care of my family, get my paycheck, pay my bills. And like, I was cool with that, right? I was cool. And then the most amazing thing happened. I was hit with like this influence and this influx of just like grace and truth and illumination and enlightenment and revelation. And all of a sudden, y'all, in the blink of an eye, I knew who I was. Like, I knew who I was. I knew what I was here to do. I knew the truth about my past. I knew the truth about my pain. I knew it was like I knew in the blink of an eye, I knew that, my dreams weren't dead. And in fact, the Lord was saying, listen, this job is not your end all be all. You ain't done yet. I got something for you. And so fast forward to now. Now, some things occurred in that time that I'm not going to get into right now. But once I had this change of life, this change of heart, this change of mind, once I had this new life and this new way of thinking, this new mindset, I left everything. And I've been doing what I've been doing the past 2 years, which has led to this podcast, which has led to different other opportunities and ideas that will continue to be worked out. But I'm telling y'all, at this point, I'm living whole. I'm living whole and I'm living free and I'm fulfilled. And so, and that's some of my story. And that's kind of like the meaning behind Holes to Whole. And I just want you to understand that holes are synonymous with emptiness and with void and with with being hunger, and when you're hungry and when you're starving and yearning for more, most of the times we'll try to fill it. We'll try to fill the hunger with anything, and most times we fill it with the wrong thing. And the other thing that I want to just dive into real quick is the word that I want you to understand, and it's synonymous with whole, is love. Is love. It's like that's our final destination, I believe and know, is love. We all want love, and love is the only thing, true love is the only thing that could satisfy and fill that yearning that we all have deep within. And so the Lord has graced me with his love, and now I don't do anything for love. Like, I don't do anything now for attention. I don't do anything now for approval. I don't do anything now for validation. Like, what I'm doing now, this podcast now, this is not for somebody to be like, oh yeah, Ben, you doing this, and I see you, and that's fine and well, and I appreciate and love, the comments and support and everything like that. But to be honest, I don't do this to hear that. You know what I'm saying? I do this because this is who I am, and this is what I do, and this is what I'm called to do. I'm called to guide people from holes to whole. So that's who I am, and that's what I do. And I just want to take some time to explain that. But now that that's out the way, let me introduce my guest, because we still gonna have conversation. But I just felt the need that it was a necessity for me to just break some of that down. But my guest today that I'm very excited about, y'all, is my son Benjamin. Come on, Benjamin, come on up. Ben 2.0, as we call him.
What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing?
Yeah. Yo, I mean, it's crazy. I got my son on here, y'all. Now, it's so many things I could say about this. So many things I could say about him. So many things I could say about just having him here and doing this and kind of doing this together is very powerful when you doing things with your kids, y'all. I mean,
yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like when you include, I'm learning that when you include your children in on things and just have them with you, and like whatever you doing, they're a part of though too. It's like it's something powerful with that. You know what I mean? So it's not like you're doing things and moving and grinding, and then your kids is like in the background not knowing. When you include them, it's like that plants a seed of ownership, that plants a seed of legacy. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I think we do things for the future generation. We do things for legacy, but I don't think most times we don't include the next generation in what we doing so much. So anyway, that was just my little spiel. But y'all welcome my son. He's here. And the reason why I want to have my son on is because, he has his own story, and he's 16 and he's young. And of course his story is, he's still got a long way to go yet, but he's been through some things already in his youth, in his young life. And he, like all of us, experienced pain at a young age. Excuse me, y'all.
Whew. Bless you.
Thank you. I've been sneezing all day.
Yeah, he has been sneezing all day, y'all. We're gonna be good by the grace of God. God bless you again. God bless you. Oh, God bless you.
Thank you.
God bless you again.
I'm sorry.
Man, I might need a tissue. I might need a tissue, y'all. This is crazy. But I've been sneezing all day. I was hoping I can get through this without it, but you know. Thank you.
And just in case.
Leslie to the rescue. Shout out Leslie real quick to the rescue. Yeah. Let me grab some sanitizer because see, we won't play these games in here.
Yeah.
I ain't sure what y'all thought this is.
That Rona is out. So y'all be careful out there, man.
Mike Martin, what's good? My man Mike, that's my man though too. You know what I mean? I just seen him at the barbershop the other day. Gerald, what's going on? God bless you as well. You know what I mean? Yes, sir. So anyway, we kind of got interrupted, but I wanted to have my son on, y'all, because like I said, he has his own story. He's still young, but he has experienced some pain in his life that I felt necessary for him to talk about, for us to talk about. Me and him, we talk all the time. But I think it's powerful. You know, it's powerful to have him share some of his story, and hopefully this will encourage other young people to, you know, to kind of talk through their problems or talk about what they're feeling and thinking, because most young people don't. They kind of hold everything in, but I'm here to tell you, you know, talk and communicate and share your pain, share your thoughts, share your heart, and that's going to lead to greater fulfillment, and that will lead to your own wholeness. So anyway, Ben Jr., I want to talk to you about, now I know just from you being my son and from knowing you, I know that one of the things that you have really dealt with and been through in your life, starting at a young age, is bullying. You know what I mean? And bullying continues to be, you know, an issue, you know, throughout schools, throughout neighborhoods, and you know, so I want to just talk about, you know, the pain of that, the pain of being teased, the pain of not being kind of like included with the cool people and being talked about and being bullied. Explain some of that. Explain the pain behind the bullying and your thoughts and how that made you feel.
Well, yeah. What I gotta say about that is really I really been dealing with a lot of like bullying and stuff like that. Even when I was in like you know, like middle school and everything like that. Because you know I got bullied just because like I was just different. I was just different in everything. The way I grew up, you know, I wasn't really like anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You know, I was just really like just real different. You know what I mean? You know, just
Right.
you know, just really different. Just staying out from the crowd and everything, and just how I grew up. So like, you know, different people, you know, look at that as different and stuff like that, and wonder how it was and stuff.
Yeah. So what age or what grade were you in when the bullying started?
It started like first grade. I would say first grade.
First grade. Okay.
First grade, this started happening to me. You know, first grade, this started happening, y'all. So really, what happened was, you know, really, it was just a lot of like people just coming at me. You know, people calling me like ugly and stuff like that. Ugly, you know, you're stupid, you can't do certain things, you know. Even when I was growing up, you know, getting a little older, you know, they wonder why. Bless you. They're wondering why that I can't like cuss in class and everything like that. You know, you and like oh man, how come you can't cuss? With us nothing like that. So um you know I got made fun of just like different things like that. So it was just a lot of pain, and I've been through a lot of bullying, and like people hitting me in school, like people like hitting on me, like like when I was younger before, I let like just people like hit on me, I didn't really like it at all. Like I really used to get angry about it, but I just didn't like didn't do anything about it. I was thinking about just thinking too much, just thinking about the consequences, and like I might get in trouble, I might get suspended, I might just get in trouble at home or something like that, or even just like I'm scared to fight the person, because he might beat me up or something like that. So I didn't. That's why I didn't like really hit back or anything. But I dealt with like just people talking from my back, people talking like in the back of me, and even with the people that I thought was cool, with, but it turns out they wasn't. So just definitely watch y'all back. Just watch it. Just experience, like the people that pretends that they're cool with you, or like they shake your hand or something, and like they end up saying stuff behind your back, or you can see at the corner of your eye or something like that. So just watch out and just be careful. But I dealt with that, and I dealt with that like a lot, and everything like that. So it was pretty tough.
Question for you though, and yeah, let me say this. So you dealt with all that, and you were going through all that for a few years. Now you never really told me about it. You know, you never really like came home and was like, "Yo, Dad, I'm getting picked on, I'm getting bullied, so and so keep messing with me." I mean, I did eventually find out about it, but I think it was, I guess through a teacher or through principal or something like that, and then we kind of came up. Me and your mom came up to the school, and then we sat and talked and kind of got some things handled there a little bit. But I want to ask you, when it first began to happen, why didn't you come? What stopped you from coming to me and just telling me about it, or telling mommy about it?
Um, so the reason why that I don't know. Actually, I don't really know why I didn't like come to my dad or anything like that. Just about like what was happening in school throughout the years of bullying for me. Um, but I do have one thing. Maybe I was just like afraid, just like to tell him, if I would have told him like that, it would have been like more problems. I would think about the problems and everything, and he would probably would have, like yelled at me and stuff, and like, oh man, you supposed to be like sticking up for yourself, and like like you supposed to stand up for yourself. You ain't like nobody hit you on you and pick on you like that. So yeah, I guess I was afraid with some of those things, and that's why I didn't tell him. But I'm really glad that I told my dad everything now. I'm even working on it to this day. I'm working on just tell my dad everything, what's about going on. I tell him everything what's going on in school, what's going on in this and that, my work and everything, just about people, because for some reason I was just like real scared just to tell my dad, not even just with bullying, even when like different things that happened in school, like it could have been like, like with a girl or anything like that in school, and like something like that, and then like like I'm like, oh, I can't. I'm like, oh, I can't tell my dad. He might get angry, or I might get like a little beating at home or something. You know what I mean? So
Listen, I was your age. I was your age though too, so I know how it go. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
you'll never, like I told you before, you'll never got to be scared about coming just to like share and being honest with me. It was like I was a young man too. I know how it is. I know the different feels. I know girls. I know everything A to Z. So, yeah, come talk to me about anything. Um, Another thing that I want to dive into real quick is now you dealt with the bullying and the different effects from that. You know, the shame that comes from that, the fear that comes from that, and everything like that. Also, talk about the pain of losing your best friend as well, because you did lose somebody close to you a few years back, and a lot of young people are just falling by the wayside and are not here anymore. So talk a little bit about the pain of losing your best friend.
All right, so the pain of losing my best friend, this happened in 8th grade with me in middle school, and it was pretty hard when when I lost him. It was really like just like what I'm trying to say here. It was like really like painful and like shocking and surprising. Like, wow, this really happened. But it was like a lot of pain for me, ever since that happened to him. I would just share I would just like sharing it with my dad, but I also would just you know, ever since I heard that happen, I was like, man, this can't be true. This can't be true. This isn't happening. Ever since he passed away, I did not feel right at all. Like, even when I came home from school, it just wasn't never the same afterwards. It was nothing at all. Even when like I came home, I even tried to do stuff and like I couldn't even do stuff right. I couldn't even really like play the video game like that. Just because of all that pain, and it was a lot of pain to it as well. Yeah, so
Yeah.
something like that, but
No, that's hard. That's tough. That's tough. And I just I wanted you to come on to share that, because what I want to say to that is that, these holes that, the holes that we have in our hearts, the holes that we have in our souls, the brokenness that we feel, it comes from these moments like these. Like, these moments that, these painful moments of losing somebody close to you, these painful moments of bullying and feeling hurt and feeling, depressed about that, they create and they give birth to these holes that we all have, that we all go through, that we all deal with in life. And one of the sad truths about that is that, you said you began to get bullied in like first grade, and then and then that lasted a few years and different things, and then you said you lost your friend a couple years ago, and that was like 8th grade. So it's like you're already dealing with painful moments at a young age, and so I wanted you to come on and share that, because I want to say out there to the people is that, guys, these painful moments, these traumatic moments that overcome us, that overwhelm us, they actually define us, and because they get a jump on us at an early age, like they get a jump on us, and they begin to like alter and corrupt our thinking and corrupt our value and corrupt our identity.
yeah.
And so I want to say that the sad truth is that they get a jump on us at an early age. But I also want to end with another profound truth that I want everybody to understand. And if you are listening, please listen to this. Even though these hurtful, painful moments get a jump on us at an early age, and it's something that we all deal with and battle and go through in life, I'm here to tell you that these moments are also permitted or allowed by God for a purpose. So they are permitted or allowed or ordained by God for you to go through, for you to experience, because they're going to give birth to a bigger purpose in your life. And one day, these holes that you have, this hole of bullying, this hole of losing people close to you, dealing with stuff at a young age, one day they're going to lose the power that they had over you.
Yeah.
To where the stuff that you dealt with in your past is not going to define you no more. It's not going to matter no more. And all that's going to matter is the lessons that you learn from it, and the lessons that you learn, and how the painful moments have shaped you and molded you and refined you to be the person who God has ultimately created you to be. So, and that's the power. That's the power of pain. That's the power of grace. And that's the power of truth. Everything all has been ordained or permitted or allowed by God. That yearning desire that I spoke about earlier when I was sharing some of my story, that emptiness is the result of pain, but it was ordained by God for me to deal with and go through. And that same pain has shaped and molded me and refined me to be the man that I am today, called by God to lead people to fulfillment. So powerful.
Yeah.
Powerful.
Yeah.
So don't become defined by you. Don't allow your pain to define you. You know what I mean? You are not your pain. You know what I mean? You are not your pain. Oh, you want to say something?
Yeah, I want to touch base on that what you just said. Your pain cannot define you. And I understand that because ever since me and my best friend, because also he was getting bullied as well. He was getting bullied as well as we was in the middle school, and definitely since since we dealt with that bullying and stuff, you know what I mean. It was so much. It was just so much pain. We just wanted to get away from that, or find out what can we do just to get away from that. You know what I mean? So, my best friend, he was a joker. He was like a top comedian inside our class and stuff. Roasting people, burning on people in school and everything in our class. Made the whole class laugh and stuff. And he was just teaching me more just about comedy and stuff like that. So, I started watching comedy, and the bullies that try to come at me, I can flame them. I got something to say, something funny to say. So I'm no longer the joke. So now you're the joke now. So because I'm funny. So but what my dad just said, y'all, your pain cannot define you. So one day me and him was talking in the kitchen while he was making dinner, and he was I was just talking how me and my best friend were really funny in class. How my uncle is really funny. He's a funny person as well. Shout out Uncle Michael. Shout out my Uncle Michael to him.
Shout out Uncle Michael.
Yeah. So we're all funny people, but my dad said, yo, the only reason that y'all did comedy and y'all was hilarious with that is just because y'all dealt with so much pain and everything. You know, you had to find out some way, you know, to get away from that. And I think comedy was like one of the things, that that we had to get away from. Was that's what people do when like so much pain that y'all have in y'all heart. Y'all do anything to get away from it. Y'all do
Do anything to cover it up.
yeah, they do everything just to cover it up to make sure like they're not, like they're not crying or pain or anything like that. And my best friend, he was really good with that. Until like what happened to him. He was really good with that. He just looked so happy. He looked so happy all the time. Only had a smile on his face, and he just had everything. That makes him like so happy that he looks so happy. And all that comedy, it just made him like where like he's just fine, like nothing's wrong with him or anything like that. So, you know, people are really good with hiding stuff like that. And people can do anything for like hiding their feelings, like not telling their feelings to anybody else. They can do comedy, they can smoke, they could do other stuff. Anything in that nature. They do drugs, they could be in a gang, anything like that. They should try to hide the stuff.
Yeah, to try to hide it and try to cover it up. And I'm glad that you kind of had went into that because that's like the perfect thing to the topic of tonight being, are you doing things for love or from love? And when you try to hide and cover up different things by joining a gang, by comedy, learning how to roast, by doing all these things to try to cover it up, what you're really doing is you're trying to hide and cover the pain, and then you do stuff, for love though.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because see, the pain, like you going through painful moments, that says nobody cares, nobody loves me.
Right.
Right? Because I experience hurt and pain, nobody loves me. And then you begin to do things for love. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You begin to get into comedy to try to flame them. You begin to try to join the gang. You begin to try to do stuff to cover it up because you think that's going to lead you. You think that's your vehicle to love.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Your vehicle to being whole, but it's not.
Exactly.
It's not. Anytime you're doing things anytime you're doing things for the approval of other people, to be accepted by other people, it's never right. It's never right, and it's never for true love. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
exactly.
powerful. That's powerful.
It's never true love. Like once you do certain things, that's try to hide your feelings. What you should do, you should always, even when you're going through pain, the very first thing you really should do is pray to God for help. He would definitely help you always. He would definitely help you in everything. Just pray. Certain people think that God is not there to help you, but He is there to help you. Some people just think like God's not there when it's silent, but just know that He actually doing something. He may do something then. He may do something next week. He may even do something to people just to help you out and stuff. You just don't know. But you should definitely pray and like talk to somebody that's close to you. Like somebody that you really trust and you really believe in. So just share your feelings. Talking about your feelings just makes it all that pain just like go away a little bit. Just healing yourself with that. Instead of just like holding it in. Like once you hold it in, it can do a lot of things. Like it can like make you like angry about something. It can make you angry, make you take your anger out on other people. It can do all that kind of stuff. So you definitely need to like talk to anybody about your feelings and everything, man. It's not good to hold it in. So yeah.
Yes, definitely. That's on point. That's on point right there, son. So listen, thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for joining us. We love you. We appreciate you. This is Holes to Hole. I'm your host, Born Leader, podcast for the soul. You heard it. CMP Radio, Chester City. What's good?
CMPRadio.net.
This is Born Leader. Work hard, expect nothing, right? That's right. Huh? Time now, baby. Time now record. Hey. First things first, I put my old name, be easy in the dirt. 6 feet, we don't even need a hearse. Raised from the dead, so this is my rebirth. Born Leader, the new name, I'm better suited. God gave me a gift and said you better use it. And I did drop a classic LP 1 year previously, but expect to hear better music. Still repping time now to the end of time. Running a good race, I can see the finish line. But it's nowhere near over yet. Son of God, so you know I'm set. Show respect. Did a lot, still got a lot more to do. But through everything, I remain more than true. And God got more for you.